Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is part 23B where we are actually making a sandwich in our Let's Get Cooking series covering cooking game mechanics. Okay, last time we did most of the coding in our BPP ingredients. So today we're going to see how far we get to try and actually get it working. The first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to add a new recipe. So go to your recipes, make a new data asset, miscellaneous data asset, and choose your DA recipe. And I'm going to call this DA underscore ham cheese sandwich. And inside here, we're going to add a few assets. So let me just check what I've done on mine just to keep it the same. And recipes. Okay, so we've got our ingredients list, so let's start with that. We've got 3 elements in our ingredients list. We have bread, quantity of 2. We have ham, which we haven't made, so we're going to have to go ahead and make them. So let's make them very quickly first, because we can't continue if we don't. Go to our data recipe, a data assets folder, items, data, food, and we're going to create a new data asset in here. I never remember where it is. There you go, data asset, and we're going to do DA ingredient. Like that. I'm going to call this DA underscore slice of ham. If I spell it correctly, it would be even better. There's no E on ham. Right. We can duplicate that one straight away and call this DA slice of cheese. So let's open them up one by one. Let's do the ham first. That's what I've got open in my screen. Okay, everything all the way down. Can have items added is checked. Give it a cost. This will affect later on, so give it a cost, whatever you want. I've got 0.36 of whatever you want to charge for your slice of ham. And we don't have it in our list, so we need to add it in our ingredient types list. Go back into our data folder, into enums, and ingredients name, I believe it is. Yes. So let's add them here. We've got slice of ham. And let's add the cheese as well. Save that. Go back to our ham. Ingredient type. Slice of ham. Random pack we don't worry about. Can't do an actor yet because we haven't made it. Cooking method none. It doesn't need to be cooked. It should be cooked no. What type is it? It's an ingredient. Static mesh is going to be the ham. And I'm just going to copy this. Paste it in just to save your time. Copy. paste. And I'm not sure whether I imported that in here. Let's have a look. No, I didn't. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put those in the folder and import them. I'm not going to waste your time on the rest of this. I'm just going to do this first one. You can do the cheese one yourselves. It's the same as we've done with most of our ingredients. If you get stuck, you look at this one. Pick up the slice of ham. And this is where we change things a little bit. There's no offsets. We'll go into that in a moment with the other stuff, okay? Okay. I'm going to pause the video. I'll import a couple of textures and I'll show you what they are for the icons. And then I'll do the cheese, and then I'll get back and show you what I've done. Okay, I've gone ahead and made up my cheese slice and my cheese ham. I've imported a couple of textures for the icons, which will be in the artwork folder of the asset pack for you guys. Basically, it's the same. Then I quickly went into my blueprints folder. I right-clicked the blueprint class of BPP underscore ingredients, like so. And I made a cheese slice and a ham slice, and all I've done so far on them is set the data assets that we've just made for each of these. That's all I've done. We can go ahead and close all of those data assets for now, except for the sandwich. Now that we've got the sandwich stack here, we can continue. So the next one is going to be slice of ham in our stack. We only want, in our ingredients list, sorry, we want one. And then slice of cheese, we want one. Save that. Now we're going to go down and we're going to look for our ingredients stack. It should be here somewhere. Here it is. And we're going to add some of these. So this index, or this number, is the one that relates to the actual stack index. So initially we started with 1. And I think so I'm going to give you the correct, right. So it starts with 1. And it's going to be ham. We're going to add another one. 2. Going to be cheese. Add another one. Will be 3. This will be your bread. Slice of bread. Save that. Static mesh. I've also need to import that, but I'll do that right now. Let me just export it from my other project. I don't think I've done that yet. I don't want to open it. I want to find it. Get back to it. All right. Very quickly export it from my other project. I forgot to do that, so I'm just going to export it as is. Then I'm going to import into my message folder. I'm just going to put it in ingredients folder. I'm going to put it in my ham. That's exactly where I put it in the other folder. I believe. Oh, no, I didn't. Let's export it again. Put it somewhere strange. Oh, I did put it in there. Look, it's right there in my face. Okay, we need to add the textures to here, so let's highlight. Okay. So I believe, let me just open it up. I believe the first one is bread. Yeah. M_bread. And cheese. Food. And cheese 1. Let's do it there. Maybe I got mine the wrong way around. Let's try. Cheese 1. Cheese 2. Cheese 1, cheese 2. Okay. Not really essential. We don't really use that mesh. Only really I use it for creating the icon, but okay, we've got it now, so let's use it. Obviously, we're going to name it ham cheese sandwich. We're going to give it some description. There's no offset. The texture is going to be, which I put in the message. I put in UI artwork, ham cheese sandwich here, which I've put for you, and that's all we need to do. Okay, so that's our message. Now, a little word about these textures here and some in here. I found there was a little problem with when you opened up your project again. Okay. When you open up your project again, some of these will be missing, so then it wouldn't work. After a bit of searching, I found out it is a project setting we need to change. So let's do that now before we forget. We're going to our project settings, and it's in our asset manager. And we're going to look for our primary assets to scan here. You see there are 2, primary asset label and map. We need to add a third one. So we go ahead and add. Call it ingredient. The object type is DA_ingredient. Make sure you tick recursive. And you choose your folder. So in your directory, you add a directory. And you direct it to your data assets folder. And the rest you can pretty well leave, just putting always cook. That's what I get included in the cooking process when we package the projects, and that should stop that little error happening. So again, call it whatever you want. I'll call it ingredients. Use your DA ingredients. If you wanted to, you could add it for everything, but it stops that disappearing. It worked for me. So we can go ahead and close our project settings. We don't need them open anymore. And I have so many windows open now, it's ridiculous. So let me close some windows. So our data asset's done now with our stack inside it. Close a few of these windows. We don't need these. So we have our data asset set up. I'm closing everything down we don't need. So now we need to make it work. So we're going to go to our blueprints. Just making sure I've got the correct one. Bear with me. Yeah. We're going to go to our blueprints. Same items. Ingredients. And we're going to open up our bread because this is what we're going to be doing work on. Go ahead and close any functions that are open. And now we do not need to add any additional functions. But what we do need to do, let's go to viewport. You see our box is huge. So this is where we set our box size. Now I found for this, the box size, to highlight your box, I found 10, 10, 1. Okay, now you see the box is offset there, okay? So what we need to do is on the spawn point here, we need to move it across. So like -10 brings it about there, and it's 2 up here, okay? And that should give you a box on top of your slice of bread. Then I want you to right click on the box, add event, on component begin overlap, and that's where we're going to be doing the work. Now we have to use this because we need to actually make sure we're doing the correct one for the actual item. So first of all, we're going to get out of actor and we're going to say, is this not equal to itself? And make sure it's not colliding with itself in any way, shape or form. Can happen, especially if you've dropped it and it bounces or something makes it move. Now, I've done a cast here, which I don't like, so I'm going to change this. So we can change it up to a little bit working on the fly here. So in our interfaces, in our ingredients interface, we're going to add a new function. We're going to call this add in ingredient event. And No, now I know why I did the cast. Okay. No, delete that. Sorry. Now I know why I did the cast. So we're going to drag off the other actor and we're going to cast to BPP ingredient. We need to actually get reference to the actual ingredient itself. That's why we need to do that. From here, we're going to, so first of all we're going to do is we're going to do a do one. Again, stops us triggering and doing crazy things and moving stuff along that you shouldn't do. We're going to come off of here and we're going to make a custom event. I'm going to call it reset adding ingredient off the reset pin. We're going to get some reroute nodes from here because we're going to be using this quite a lot. We're going to say check can continue. We can do a branch. Oops, more reroute nodes, and we're going to say add new ingredient function, which was a big function that we worked on last time. Target is self, so we can, but the ingredient to add is from our cast. Spawn point is our next ingredient spawn point. Okay? We can't do this from the overlap with inside the parent actor because we need the spawn point of the instance. So then we're going to do a add chefs comment. We're just going to say something like, you can't add this ingredient, offer the false. On the success here, we're going to do a branch. And then we're going to run reset. What did I call it? What did I make? Reset adding material. Okay, we'll drag on it. Reset adding ingredient. And that is, I believe, all we need to do on that. Let me just pause the video, go ahead and try and get back to you as soon as I know if we've got more to do or if it works, we can test it together. Okay, for the observant amongst you, you would have noticed I've forgotten some important parts on here. We didn't add any of our prep stages, instructions, so on and so forth in this ingredient. So we're going to quickly go ahead and do that before I test. I just realized that as we were going on. Now, for testing and for the ham sandwich, and also in Thor, I decided I don't like the section where it tells you to add the items to the prep table. So we're going to skip that one. So we're going to go to our why can't I find what I'm looking for? Oh, prep stages. So our instructions, we're going to add instructions. Number one is going to be on chopping board here. think that's what we've got. Yeah. Number 2 is going to be, okay, so we don't have them, so we need to add these to our PEP stages. Go into our data, our enums, our PEP stages. We've got all of these. So we're going to add a few more and say add ham, add cheese, and add bread. Ooh. Add bread and bread. Even though I don't even know how I did that. Right, okay. Should be fine on that. Right, so let's go back into here. So number 2 is going to be add ham. Number 3 is going to be add cheese. Number 4 is going to be add bread. Number Number 5 is going to be packaged food. Number 6, number 5. Number 6 is going to be closed food container. Number 7 is going to be completed. If we save as you go along, ingredients that you see is still here, that's fine. The PEP stages. So we're going to add, first stage is going to be put first ingredient on the chopping board. Like so. And it's going to be bread is the first ingredient. Next one is going to be add ham. And it's going to be slice of ham. Add cheese. Slice of cheese. You get the picture. Add bread. Bread. Then packaged food. Closed food container. And then completed. So, and in our comments, I don't know whether I can, no I can't. Okay, so in our today's comments, we're going to add them. I'm going to go and pause the video because I'm trying to keep these videos a little shorter and add them, and then I'll get back and show you what I've done. Okay, so you can see what I've done. I've just added all of these here with the comments. Obviously, write the comments, whatever you want it to say, whatever language you use, up to what they say. You could have them in a joking way, you could have them in not so joking way, up to you. And one thing I just want to double check is make sure you get these correct. So on chopping board, bread, ham, cheese, bread, packaged food. You want none for the rest of those, okay? Once you've got that, and the only other thing I added was a price so that we can earn money. So make sure you add a price. Save that data asset. Okay, I'm now going to go and pause the video again and check. There's something in the back of my mind saying this isn't going to work, so I want to check first before doing it live and wasting your time. One moment. Okay, so I've gone ahead and tested it. It partially works, and I'll show you that in just a second. One thing I did do, which I'll quickly go through with you first of all, is your BPPT size. I just made sure your box extent was 1010.2 and moved it up to just above the cheese, and the same with the ham. Okay, that was 1111, it's a little bit bigger. That's all I've done in there. And the only other thing I did is in the Kitchen Manager here, I upped this for a different number because I was never getting the cheese sandwich because it's totally random. So it just gave me more chances to get the cheese sandwich. But let me show you what's happening, and I'll show you how we're going to fix it. So do we have a cheese sandwich? Yes, we do. So let's select our cheese sandwich. I do apologize for the... Yeah, so it says put first ingredient on chopping board. So what I've done is I've just dragged in the ingredients here rather than go through the buying process just to speed up testing. Add a slice of ham. And we add a slice of ham. Okay, you see that the ham goes to the one side. It moves on the stage quite happily. And it tells us what we're doing quite happily. The only ones that's correct is the bread-ish, but it's not really moved up. So let's correct the offset here, which is where we have the offset that I talked about that we added to our D8 ingredient. Most of them we don't need to put any offset on. I will double check them, but I'm pretty sure when we made them just now, I checked them already. But the bread we do, because like I said, the bread has this odd offset. Now I've put 10.5 here, and everything else should be the same. Okay. And let's give that a try. Do I get a ham cheese sandwich? Yes, I do. Come on. Oh, my computer's not liking having that. Okay. Come on. Cool, my computer's really complaining today. I am uploading a video to YouTube, so that's probably what it is. Come on. Okay. Oh, it's really slow, isn't it? Hang on. Let me start the game again. It may be better. Okay, didn't get one that time, so start the game again. Do I get one this time? No. Start the game again. No. Last time. No. Okay, we got one now. Select order from screen. Okay, it feels a little bit better now. When I've only got this running with just one copy on, it runs absolutely fine, so don't worry. It's my computer, it's not the fact that I'm trying to do too many different things at the same time. I'm recording, I'm processing a video and uploading a video all at the same time. So, right, so we get our first one. Sorry if it's making you feel sick, it's making me feel sick. Right, E, pick up our ingredient. Drop it on the board. Add a slice of ham. Let's see whether we fix our problem. The ham is still not there. Why is that? Okay, let's try the cheese. Okay. Let me look into that. It should be working. We put it in the data asset. know why it's doing that. Let me investigate that and I'll get back and I'll let you know what the problem is. Okay, there is a little bit of extra work we also need to do. I totally forgot about it. I did some modifications in our prep table. So open up your prep table, go to your on component begin overlap, board box. Make sure you use the board box one. First of all, I was getting a problem with it detecting itself too many times, especially when you're putting other things on it. So first thing I did was say, is this equal to the board other actor we have here. That doesn't look right. Let me find out. That should just be the recipe. Like that, not that one. Okay, that's obviously left over from the previous one. And find out that this recipe should be deleted. No. References. No, not replace references. Find references. And delete that. A little bit confused about that. Hang on 1 second. I'll be back with you. Okay, back to where we were. Sorry about that. It took my mind a little bit away. I'm terrible. Must be ADHD or something. Right, so we changed this a little bit now. We are going to give ourselves a bit of space. So drag this out away a ways. We can do this is equals check. The branch on here. We only care if this is false, okay, not if it's true. We're going to get a kitchen manager. We're going to give current date. Say we only care if it's false. Make sure you do it on the false, not the true. We can say, is this equal? Make sure you use equal enum to on chopping board. Move this across a little bit. We do another branch. And only if that's true, we care about it, because I was getting some false readings in my testing when I was trying to add similar ingredients to it. Then, if that's true, we can go ahead and get some rebound nodes. Make sure we set that one there. We can get that rebound node there. Right. Let's go back and do it again. Better. No, it's not. What is going on here? Okay. Sometimes Unreal. Let's do it a different way then. We don't do it that way. Why is it need to go backwards? We're going to say get board other actor, set don't know. What is happening with these reroute nodes? Not even the right color. Now it's better. Okay. Looks like I'm having a bit of a bug session today. I do apologize for this, ladies and gentlemen. The fun of programming. Okay. So in our handle on board, I've also made a few changes. So we're going to go back to the beginning and go through them. Okay, so first of all, we are going to just an object reference. So we're going to promote that to a local variable. We're going to call it L-actor. Leave that like that for now. And we're going to say, is this actor not equal to L-actor? The branch. We say it's true because not equal, so therefore we want it to do something. Let me just give ourselves some space. Then we will set L-actor. It's only set to stop too many strings. So from this one here to there, that's it. Give ingredients data asset, L ingredients is the same. Give recipe is the same. If it's valid, set a local recipe. Set local recipe. Second ingredient type is equal, that's the same. If it's not, we're giving a message. If it is the same, we're going to attach the actor to actor, which is fine. The pivot, that's fine. Set mesh physics, that's fine. Set stage complete, and now we add a little bit more code. We get the other board actor, and we say set is on board message, and we say yes. We'll set that to true. We get our L ingredients. We get is it can have items added. True, we'll do a branch. It's huge. We reduce size a little bit. Okay, trying to make it easier for you. Okay, so then we say we get our L actor. We create stack message. Okay, and that's what we do on there. Okay. Basically what was happening was I don't think it was running the code. I'm going to just test this now and I'll get back to you. Okay, I've fixed the errors. One was a mistake. Also, while I was testing, I was noticing that the first layer, i.e. the hand in this case, was too high. I told you to add this box so it's level with the top of the bed. Actually, you want the center of that box to be level with the bed. Okay. And that will calculate it correctly. The other thing where I made a mistake was in our BPP ingredients in our add new ingredient way back here. Give ingredient data asset. Here in the calculate offset, we had the ingredient there, which was probably from here. Okay, so that was incorrect. You need to make sure you have your local data ingredient there, and then the offset will work. I believe I believe that's what it was. We needed the local, make sure you got the local ingredient there. And also what I did while I was in here, there was an error popping up and I just did that as well. In our select static mesh, we were setting our cooked data asset as a local data asset, which is here. I've deleted that local data asset. And after this should be cooked, I've now added it here. Instead of having a local data asset, I've gone straight in. What was happening was it can't find it because obviously if it isn't cooked, we don't have a cooked data asset, and even a second for validation didn't seem to affect it. So let's go ahead and test it now. And we've got ham and cheese sandwich, that's good. Go ahead and get that. So this is what you should have. You drop the bread on the board, it goes into place. Add a slice of ham. It goes straight into place where it should do. Perfect. Add a slice of cheese. Straight into place where it should do. Perfect. Add a slice of bread. Good, and it says place food in the food container. I haven't got any here, but if we pick it up and we look at it, we can see they're all stacked nicely on top of each other. There's a slight gap. You can adjust your pivot levels just to reduce the gap, but to be honest, good enough. So I'm going to leave it here for this one. The rest of it works. And in the next one, we're going to import the assets for the bulk buy of the cheese and the ham. And we're going to import assets and get a link ready for making a burger and making a burger grill. And then we'll go on to make the grill work, and we'll also go to actually making the burger, which we've done the groundwork here for today. That's for future episodes. Okay, so I'm sorry this one is a little bit of a problem, with a bit of trouble shooting there. My fault, I made a mistake. Hands up. But just goes to show that, you know, it's easy to make a mistake and not to panic, just work your way through it carefully and slowly, and why not. If any of you got any problems, you can drop me a line on my Discord or in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon for the next one. If you really like my work, consider joining my Patreon or buying me a coffee. Every little helps. As you can see, my machine's struggling a little bit, so I need to upgrade my graphics card a bit to continue doing these. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.